for first contact, for the purposes of first contact, those are the three things that are required for complete our evolution on Earth. But to reiterate the point, the law protects the love and protects the abundance. And that's what we're physically realizing on Earth. This is applied to India, the United States, everywhere. Everyone is equal. All countries are equal. All planets are equal. All civilizations are equal. We are all equally talented. It's just that the reptilian occupation, headed by the beast, who has displaced all her light, so she's just a black hole, and has infinite, almost infinite bad karma. She has almost infinite bad karma. So, so everyone everywhere is equally talented. And as I was mentioning, the reptilians headed by the cosmic Antichrist, Swami Chittalasananda, have in their invasion of planets have suppressed the planet and certain populations or certain areas more than others. They have a little system, of negative war tactics they have developed, which cause suffering, racism, separation, duality, thinking that dark and light go together, and so on and so forth. It's really green and gold, divine feminine, divine masculine, aligned with the white light. And that is the information, is divine masculine and divine feminine, that the monk that was working on putting the yin-yang together would have ultimately received. As that is the truth from the Creator. Swami Chittalasananda interfered with his meditation in that lifetime, and that's how he came up and harassed him into putting a dark and light paradigm together. So while the law is around the planet, it needs to be stronger and a little bit more refined to reflect stewardship and intergalactic society. And ultimately, I'm going to add protection of the cosmic hierarchy and protection of the Creator. So physically, after first contact, with what, as I've mentioned, with having anchored the law down here and removing the darkness and transmuting it, because it's only the darkness that gets transmuted, not the light. The whole universe is preserved. The light, love, the knowledge, all knowledge that's ever been attained is always preserved and available. For those that need it and seek it when it's appropriate and made available. And so with our collective decisions to choose peace and acting on that together and remove the evil, that opens us up to receiving the full grace of the Creator in the physical plane. And we will have done our part and anchored our part to receive the gift of galactic technology from the benevolent ETs to take care of our abundance. And so we no longer will be coerced by the Antichrist regime, reptilian occupation, controlled by her, into exploiting the planet and each other. So healthy relationships are giving and receiving, and we take good care of ourselves with plenty of balance in our life, so we have the energy to give and to take care of others and the whole cosmos. So the first 48 hours in discussions with Ashtar and others, the galactics and the cosmic hierarchy and so on, and this involves everybody's work, and everybody is welcome to and needed to embellish it if you would like to. We have all created the foundation for cosmic peace and the collective evolution of the cosmos. So, everyone is welcome to participate. There are leaders, the foundation has been set, the infrastructure is there, and the blueprint is there for the new infrastructure already. This has been worked on for a very long time. The people that are leading it, that are basically a blend of the cosmic hierarchy and very adept people. Well, let's put it this way: the people that are leading it have developed these skills over many, many lifetimes, millions of lifetimes, or thousands of lifetimes. And so within the first 48 hours, everybody in the cosmos will be fed and housed and cared for, including the animals. We will amalgamate further, continue, and it would be better to be doing that down here before first contact. That's part of what we need to be doing with the networking phase, after the law phase, law and care, and then the networking and info phase, so we can collaborate and actually communicate for a change without this reptilian invasion going on, which is also why it's so important for them to get arrested and for the regime to be arrested. Then everyone will stop breaking the law, freaking out. It's not fair for the reptilian aspects of the government to inflict crime onto the public. That is absurd and against their duties. And they need to think and assimilate and process, and the criminals need to be adjudicated. But so, while we do a few meetings, the new infrastructure committees can be more amalgamated and trained into understanding what the new earth is, and respect for the divine feminine and protection of it, and the protection of the divine masculine, and from the divine masculine, and that the divine masculine needs to protect itself, and protect the space. And so the infrastructure committees are in service to the Creator, with people that have the good karma to do it, and that mean well and are passionate about peace, global peace and cosmic peace. And at the higher levels, are willing to learn or know how to work with the galactics and co-create with the Creator, and know how to co-create with the Creator, and the Ascended Masters and the Spirit Guides, and to tune in to everyone's hearts, and to reciprocally put the new infrastructure together that answers to everyone's visions, dreams, hearts, and love, and takes care of, again, all of creation, the planets, the animals, each other, the galactics, and Creator. Including ceremonial grounds everywhere. Part of my vision, for example, which I've written about for the last 8 years, since at least, actually I've had this vision, probably since 2010 or so, and I've written about it at least since 2014 or 2013, are to add temples, temples of light, temples of wisdom, love, are temples, more temples of Archangel Michael, Isis, the Ascended Masters, elaborate gardens, is which I love, wide white sandy beaches with playgrounds on them, and games, and volleyball, things like that, with lots of palm trees. That's my passion, my vision. I've seen that we can handle, the Earth's grid work can handle 3 large crystal cities from LA to Washington, D.C. to Paris. And my daughter Lakshmi and the Ascended Master, because main incarnations, Ascended Masters in the Bible are in my rabbits that were murdered by Swami Chittalasananda, the King of Swords, with what I've told by Ashtar, 15 to 17 dark military or dark government, black ops, and military factions that invaded my place in Colorado, and took us down and caused a flood. So Lakshmi would like the spiritual centers to be crystal. That is her vision and her desire. And we're doing a lot. That's not the only thing we think about. We're doing a lot. There's a lot of political bridging going on, political healing going on, unity of the faiths, the religions, diplomatic resolutions that the Galactics are helping us with. Ashtar and George has put out the first trust fund for the New Earth. That belongs to me. Together we've been disseminating it since about 2014 to plant the seeds for the new infrastructure. As Michael Jesus, well, the Father married him to me in the physical. Said that we're the royal wedding. He has to develop himself, as I've said, and we need to hold space for each other. We cannot allow any crime that has to be adjudicated. We need divine justice, and people need to be rehabilitated, and we need to hold space for each other to heal and to come into our hearts and to realize ourselves more, and the heart more in our divinity more, in our own wisdom, and to be able to practice it. So we need the space to practice this, and we need to listen to each other. And the man needs to listen to the wife, the husbands need to listen to the wives more, and the man needs to listen to the female. Both in the workplace, as well as everywhere. And we need to listen to children. We need to listen to the animals, and if you take good care of them, if they would like to, they'll show their wisdom. Somebody I was friends with when I first moved to Colorado, his dog was the incarnation of Confucius. And he was the main incarnation of Lord Melchizedek, who synchronistically was a Melchizedek priest with the Mormon Church, and former special forces in the military, or actually he was in the CIA. But he did not respect the female, the divine feminine, fully, and he didn't recognize how sublime his dog was. And as I've been saying, and yes, people can find their gurus, and also pray for teachers that are beneficial for them, physically, non-physically. To have teachers, but I have a little saying where I say to honor the animals when we have our gurus or animals right under our noses in our own homes, who needs to go to the Far East to find one, that they are the incarnations of the masters that we train with. So we have both gurus to work with, and I'm not saying to ask animals to tell you what to do, but I'm saying that we need to recognize that they are part of the governance of the universe. They are not, the universe is vegan, and they are not to be attacked or abused or exploited or murdered in any way. The Agarthans in the inner earth are Lemurian ancestors that retreated to the inner earth when the reptilians came and sunk it. Right before it attained the enlightenment to figure out how to either protect itself from the reptilian regime galactically or to go after the reptilians and take them out and transmute them. The Agarthans, according to Sheldon Neidl, who's one of my big teachers, and I have many, there are many, but I primarily learned about Agartha with Sheldon. He was in Agartha when he was 9 years old. He's an astrophysicist and is a teacher, a world-renowned teacher, and galactic ambassador and contactee. And he has a DVD on Agartha, and he discusses how they have, sadly, but also with complete gratitude from us to them, have been willing to preserve our endangered species, which never should have happened. And they even have a few dinosaurs and a few of the species that are naturally wild and a little bit aggressive, or maybe not. It's not need a lot of space, and you can't physically be close to them. They have them, in a beautiful, large habitats, but segregated from the other parts of the population, so they have their own space. Other than that, from what I've seen, everyone gets along just dandy. And when the heart is the dominant energy in the field, the animals are more, and I'm still learning about this one, but the animals are more congenial to getting along with humans and others. They are really responsive to negativity and destructive forces. And when love and respect are the dominant energy in the area, they respond to that. And so they come up to you. You have conversations with them, and it's heaven. And you take care of the planets. Akon's, Elizabeth Clare's book, Beyond the Light Barrier, when she visited Meton with Akon, her twin flame, Saint Germain. She's a Portia. I remember the scene, which made an imprint on me, of them picnicking outside in the beautiful landscapes of their planet. And she loves to talk about the sapphire blue oceans, which is very dear to her heart. And the birds come and land on their arms, and the horses come, and if they give permission to you to ride them. And that's how much beauty and how much harmony we have to look forward to. One of my teacher experience is when I was living in Colorado, the Boulders Farmers Market. I just absolutely adored it. It was one of my favorite farmers market. It is a large town. It's like a city. So there is a lot of variety, and there are a lot of crops and farms in the area. So there's a huge variety of organic farms and baking and some international vendors. But they also, my first few years in Colorado, people would brought their pets, their dogs, mostly to the farmers market, and there were quite a few of them, and the market was just bursting with love and electricity, and it was bursting with joy and so much love and so much fun. When the King of Swords infiltrated and started invading with his black ops and gang stalkers and targeting me very heavily in Colorado, he somehow got to the management of the farmers market and had them prevent the animals from being taken, from being allowed to be at the farmers market, and all of the love dropped out. So that's how important they are, and it's not for them to be used, but they have a function. We have a function. The humans are dynamic in evolution. The animals anchor the love of the Creator. They're a stable force. And the pure essence of the soul. And of course, we have the planets, which are our hosts, and we are the guests. For us to enjoy each other and take care of while we all together evolve. Okay, so the new infrastructure committees will continue to get amalgamated. The global one will be half galactic and half Earth human. So the new infrastructure in the systems, the economic system, education system, the health system, the mental health system, all of it will, and internationally, we will have unity, equal representation, partnership, camaraderie, sharing. We'll have, again, a beautiful divine, and it's what we realize in our hearts. A synergy of and combination of independence and interdependence, sharing, partnership, having, enjoying our own cultures and sharing our cultures. And so the equality, respect for the divine feminine, protection, and protection of the divine feminine, protection of the divine masculine, and stewardship, intergalactic society. These are the factors, and of course, what we all know in our hearts, that are going into and have gone into revamping the systems. I understand that half of it is done, half of it is not done. About around 3/4 or 85% of the new infrastructure has been designed, and everybody is welcome to participate. And if you want to be a leader on the higher levels, you can ask Ashtar where to plug you in. He's been doing that, I'm aware of, from the galactic channelings that I've read in the 2000s. He's been doing that since at least that time. And again, collectively, the universe has worked on cosmic peace for a very, very, very long time. In fact, millions of years. So we have stewardship. We have stewardship being implemented and applied in the management of society. We have unity, sisterhood, brotherhood. We also have healing. I haven't talked about it much because I don't want it to get taken advantage of or taken for granted. But after we do our part, one of the gifts the Galactics have for us and the Agarthans is the Agarthan Light Chamber, which heals the body. But also, from what I've learned and what they've taught me and tell others, is that in healing the body, you first also heal the situation that cause any maladies or deformities. And so that includes accountability towards of others towards you that have any injustices or negative impact on you, as well as accountability of your own actions. That way you restore the field, and that way the body can heal. There's also, of course, this is not my specialty, but healing in the medical field. Everyone will be healed, and it does, of course, include. I'm going to assume here, and they're telling me that's, of course, healing the situation that caused the medical maladies. So we have that to look forward to, and the beautifying, enhancing our physical beauty according to our higher self. That's how the light, gracious light chambers work. The Garth and light chambers work. The Galactics talked about having mentors with us to make the transition a little easier. I haven't thought about it much since the 2000s, but to teach, to heal, and there are a lot of and get people up to speed on galactic civilization, and I've talked about our part already. And there are a lot of parts of the world that have been severely deprived. So there's that I've read about. We will have prosperity funds when the Creator gives permission through Ashtar. Everyone will be taken care of, like I said, in the first 48 hours. There's going to be no more animal cruelty. Everybody will be taken care of. As we have the abundance and no more crime, the mental system will fizzle out, and so will the criminal system, but the legal system will always be there. And we will convert the mental system to group homes, or that's what I've been working on from a distance with some medical directors, with primarily a medical director, and with true psychological healing and healing on the other levels that I've been discussing, and abundance and adjudication. Again, the criminal and the mental system will fizzle out when there's abundance and when the law is being enforced and we have a free society and no more slavery or exploitation or rape. Then it's just a matter of the parents getting up to speed on their consciousness and healing, so we can all take better care of our families and children and animals and the planets and each other and our galactic community and the Creator. So there'd be martial art. Well, my vision, and I talked about it from a distance, worked on it from a distance, have shared it physically, is martial arts in the high school from we're young. And I've actually felt this way for my whole life. Everyone deserves the right to learn to protect themselves. It's a divine birthright. And there'll be, from what I've seen, maybe it's there already, but very enhanced and refined warrior skills and mastery. And as I've mentioned before, the education system will be added to, and the myths will be discussed and also cleared up in history and the religions and so on. Everyone will be loved, cherished, respected, protected, educated, taken care of, honored, and empowered, and abundant. And the system, if everyone wants it, will be more abundant. I've always wanted that. I don't like this really austere stuff. To me, that comes from the Dark Ages. So, so there's the infrastructure, there's the stewardship, taking care of everything. The Galactics have the gracious technology to regrow forests and plants, and replicator technology where we don't have to cut trees down anymore, and also replicator galactic technology that can recycle waste and landfill into materials that we can use, so we don't have to use up anything anymore or exploit anything anymore. And they also obviously have the technology. They're so amazing. It always blows me away. And I go, oh God, how did you figure that out? Um, how long did you, how long did it take to figure that out? But, in an instant, they can remove pipes from a town and fill it in with dirt. And it is, so that's why it's important to meet in the physical, so we understand it's the new earth, the new infrastructure, and our utopia, and the return of Lemuria, and the return of Eden, is not as arduous as you might think or be overwhelmed with our current day-to-day society, because you graciously will have earned the galactic technology to transmute the landfills and to remove the pipes and the wires. And I'm going to say here that Mother Earth doesn't want any satellites up there. And that in conversations with others, I don't remember when Mother Earth and the Ascended Masters and the Galactics, we might be, but this is not my area of specialty, transferring the communication systems down on Earth. And this is not my specialty either, but I know that the galactic technology is harmonious to the environment. And that to me is incredible. So we will have that. So we will have pristine air, pristine energy, gorgeous environment that we can co-create. It is at this, well, this is a beautiful, 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 utterly beautiful, extraordinary use of galactic technology. When it comes to making forests, I've also realized in the last year or so, as this is always evolving, I have all the main stuff down, but I'm constantly getting, I get new subtle things every once in a while. And one of them that I got last year was that it is what we make with our own bare hands is so very, very precious. And the love, particularly with our divine genome,